Dear viewer, if you have been paying attention to drone stuff this week, you'll have noticed we've chatted about sub 250 gram platforms a lot, and perhaps we have an informal challenge going on now to see who can build the bestest. I'm sure that'll be Bruce, but I'm going to give it a go. You know me with projects, I'm terrible, I'm terribly slow. Bruce has the scales that show no blood, hide the blood. I have the scales that hide spoons, and for reference sake, this spoon weighs 41 grams. It is a 41 gram spoon. Right, so put that to one side over there. I have been looking around in my box of old stuff. This is where I started the journey, my drone journey. I started it in 2007 with RCAPs. A Spanish chap called El Aldio, something like that. Now these, you had to have two of these, one on the elevator and one on the rudder. The one on the rudder was connected to a GPS in the M406. I don't have one of those. Let me just mark, that's 19 grams as it is. We actually need to have two of those. I don't have any M406 lying around anymore, but there is a sort of an equivalent size and weight. And that's the sort of size, roughly the sort of size of receiver that we would have had back in the day, plus a few wires. But you know, so that's 48 and 48. Oh, I know what I could add if I've got one lying around. Have I got any telemetry lying around? Any telemetry radios? Telemetry radios. Going what? Here's one. There we are. That's what I was looking for. So let's have telemetry as well. Fat way of doing it, isn't it? So that's 62. Plus another 19, that's 72.81. Is that right? Yes, that's right, I think. Right, so that would be for a score of 81 grams. Right. In fact, might as well leave the GPS there. Next, I personally moved on in 2009 to an autopilot. Fantastic autopilot, well ahead of its time. Really was well ahead of its time. Nothing out there could do anything like it back then. Let's give it some of that, and then let's give it some telemetry, and that is for 62 grams. So still a bit of a competitor, isn't it? Then, easy wizzy, let's get busy. As if by magic, this thing came along. We won't need the GPS now because there is a GPS. We'll still need that receiver. That is 4 marks if you can guess or if you know what that is. They weren't very successful. These didn't work very well. But that's an APM2, I think it is, if I'm right. I think it was a 2. And they came along in 2011. Now, look, now we're beginning to drop weight. Now we're down to 49 grams. That's pretty groovy. Right, I don't know why I clicked the pen up. That's because we lost that big GPS. But what we can do now we've moved forward in time, Pixhawk 1, they came out in 2013. Obviously that needed GPS, but it's 2013 now, so we can go to a smaller GPS. Let's take us up to 50. And I guess, yes, we can go to a smaller receiver as well. And that takes us, even with the case, that's pretty cool. So even with the case, we're down at 56 grams with a much, much, much more capable autopilot. Remember when this one, and to a certain extent actually this one as well, and absolutely when this one came along, when these were around, the first three, multi-rotors were not a thing yet. They absolutely were not a thing. So we can leave those on there and jump forward to 2016. The lightest thing I have, the absolute lightest thing I have, is a Tau Labs Sparky 2 from Peabody. Now that is already running the Arduplane, in fact Arduplane software, so that would already run. Tiny GPS, couple of wires. Oh, telemetry. I didn't put telemetry on. Did I put telemetry on before the Pixel? I don't know. Well, that is with telemetry. That's 38, and let's just leave that there and put that Pixel. What did I just do with that Pixel? How can I lose things on my desk so quickly? There we go. Oh, okay. I didn't leave the telemetry on, did I? All right. Oh, that was 69. But it has got the case on. It has got the case on, to be fair to it. Anyway, back to that. So that is the current lightest configuration I have. I know I can go down in weight on the receiver if I join the R9 gang. So maybe it's time to join the R9 gang and change my method of business in that regard. And obviously, when it comes to actually building the aircraft, we'll still need a BEC, speed controllers, all stuff like that. And I know there are other boards that have that on board, so slightly heavier than that, but more of an onboard solution, because onboard, offboard, there'll be more wiring, so I've got to think about that. But I needed a baseline. I needed a baseline, and here we are. Did I take that off and do that again? Yeah, 38. That's 38 like that. And if we go the R9 route, then that telemetry radio as well, that also can fall by the wayside. We can do some clever things with telemetry. So look, as if by magic, I have one here. I have a diagram prepared earlier. So where do we go? We said 81 grams there for the R cap, 62 grams for the Autopilot. That was pretty cool there. 49 grams for the APM2, 69 grams for the Pixel 1, but remember it's in its case to be fair to it, and 38 grams for the Sparky 2 from 2016. So that 38 grams then, that's got to be my target number to bring down in a purchasing arena. I will go now. I've already reached out to the Ardupilot.org Facebook group to find out people's recommendations for boards. I've got some good ones, and I'm gonna do some maths now and click off to a Chinese retailer site to purchase some stuff. Don't forget, join us at 2100 GMT every Tuesday for our drone stuff this week. Hangout of nonsense. Have a lovely week all. Cheerio.